Hi everybody. So in this video I'm going to show you guys how I made those vintage bells, those ones right there, out of soda cans and out of old beer cans. So if that's something that you're interested in, knowing how to do, stay tuned. Because I figured I'd just finish up some last minute touches on my vintage Christmas, and I wind it up here at a Salvation Army. Now, don't ever sleep on Salvation Armies and thrift stores, especially if you're looking for vintage pieces. So I just happened to go on a day where everything was like 80% off and 50% off, and normally you could find some really good vintage pieces in Salvation Armies. So I figured I'd stop through, and the Salvation Army was really nice. It was really well kept, and they had a lot of pieces out that I had my eyes on, but I always have to control myself when I go in thrift stores and Salvation Armies, because they have so much stuff and so much inventory, especially around this time of year. They have so much stuff out, and that's where I always go wrong. He was really, really cute, and Hobby Lobby got these snowmen out for way more than $4.99, and he would blend in really nice in a vintage Christmas. But yeah, so this is my cart, and I scored a couple nice pieces. That vintage looking basket and that sign, 'tis the season. I think that sign was like $2. And I got a garland just to have. I always pick up garland. Now, down the road from the Salvation Army, from where I live, is a vintage Christmas store. So I went in there and to see if I could, get some ideas and probably pick up a few things, but this place was so expensive, you guys. These was the bells that I got out of there. Now all of them was like $6.95 a piece. So I only got 3 bells, but I'll just show you some clips of this store. They act like they didn't want me recording in the store. So I did, kind of hold my phone, made it look like I was looking at my phone, but I was, recording some things in this vintage store. But these prices were insane. So that's why I was saying, if you want to do like a vintage Christmas, or even start like collecting vintage pieces for, your holiday decor, it's good to start, but I always, whatever I can make, I'll make. And before you go to any of these pricey stores like this, go to a lot of thrift stores, Salvation Armies. Look at that, $50 for that one little stem tree. I mean, they had beautiful items, don't get me wrong, but they were expensive. Look at the bulbs. These bulbs were so expensive, and they only were selling them in pairs of 4, but they're really pretty. They're really pretty, but before I spend that kind of money on those bulbs, I'll create them myself, that look myself. But all in all, the store was really, really nice. It was really, really nice. So if you got deep pockets and you could go in these vintage Christmas stores that's popping up all over, then go for it. But I'm always a gal out looking for really nice, things on a budget. So I'll go to like Salvation Armies and things to that nature. Look at that little nativity scene, and they wanted $100 for it. Look at that. And I got a nativity scene from the thrift store same quality, probably even better when I show my home tour. You guys will see. I got that nativity scene out of a thrift store, and I paid $7 for it. So here, these are the little things that I did get from out of the Salvation Army. I got some red candles, and they were 99 cents. I only needed 2. So they had tons of them, so I just picked up the red ones. And I found a bag of bells. They were $2.99, but with the 50% off, the half off, they were $1. So don't ever sleep on the Salvation Army. So I got those little silver bells right there to kind of support, like hang like right up in here, that negative space underneath the, over top of the DIY bell that I made. So yeah, and I just thought this little basket was cute. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it yet, but it was $5.99 with half off, so I think I paid $2.50 for it or something like that. But yeah, so I hope you guys are enjoying the video and the content. Like I said, I'm still new here, so I do get some videos that be out of frame and out of focus. So if you're new here, welcome. My name is Tanya, and I do a lot of DIYs around the holidays. I do a lot of Christmas shopping and home decor and gardening, and in the springtime I do a lot of gardening and things to that nature. Lifestyle, I'm a mother of 2 with a child with autism, a teenager with autism that's nonverbal. So we have lots of content as far as with Mr. Lance. And yeah, so if this is the type of stuff that you might be interested in, I do a lot of DIYs and how-to videos. So if you're interested, I would love it if you like and subscribe, share anything that you see that would be helpful to others, because that's what we like to do here. We like to share content that would be helpful to others. Okay? So now that I done did that little rant, I'm just showing off some of the stuff that I got out of the Salvation Army. All of the stuff I got out the Salvation Army. And this is a throw blanket. And it takes me back to my childhood with the station wagons, with the wood on the sides, you know, because I'm a 70s baby. And basically that's what everybody in my family was driving at the time. And all my neighbors had the station wagon with the wood on the sides of it, the wood panel on the side. So when I saw this throw blanket, I said, well, that'll be cute to, you know, put in the great room, in the family room, because it gets really chilly in there. And this was another blanket, Christmas blanket I got, because at the Salvation Army they have out all their Christmas stuff. And I like this blanket. I picked it up because it looked like it's made out of like a tapestry. A tapestry? I like tapestry. I did go in a thrift store and seen blankets woven with, they called it tapestry, but they were really expensive. So yeah, so I got a red, I think this is a tablecloth. Yeah, that's a tablecloth. I got this red tablecloth for $2 and some change. And I got this hat out of the Salvation Army, just to go along with a lot of other decor that I'm going to be putting on my tables and things to that nature. Okay, so here's the part that you guys have tuned in for. Me making these, those long bells out of cans. Now, here's some of, you know, some beer cans from a get-together we had over the Thanksgiving holiday. I saved the cans and washed them out and let them air dry out back on the patio. And so here, I'm going to just dismember the can. So pro tip, beer cans are more tougher than soda cans. So if you use a beer can, just always know that it's going to be harder to cut through the aluminum than if you did a regular soda can. It's a little bit tougher, but you can get through. Now those scissors that I used, I got those scissors out of the dollar store. So what you're going to do is you're going to cut off the top of the can like you saw me just do. Cut a line down the middle and then cut the bottom of the can off. Don't throw those pieces away, at least the bottom of the can, because you're going to need that. And I'll show you why you're going to use that later on. But I noticed when I was doing this craft that the beer cans were more heavier, tougher. Yeah, save this part because you're going to need that part. And there's the inside of the can. Yeah, the beer cans was more tougher than a soda can. And if you do this, you guys, please be careful, you know, because the aluminum can get sharp, you know. So just make sure that, you know, you take your time and, you know, do this if you're going to attempt to do this craft. But in the end, the bells came out really, really pretty. So yeah, what you're going to do is, you know, those rigid edges, and again, be careful. Get something that, you know, that'll help you out. Just fold them up into the can because you don't really want those exposed. But if you leave them exposed after you bend them up, you can, to make the can more safer for people to touch, you can run a bead of hot glue over the can, the folded edge. You could run a bead of hot glue right there on the fold, and that'll keep, you know, the can from, you know, snagging on things or cutting anybody. So there, I just cut the can down just a little bit because I didn't need that much of the edges, you know, up. So there, see how it's folded up? And I'm happy with that. And I'll do the same right there at the top. I'll fold that down. And I'm just taking my time, and I'm using a metal ruler to help me, you know, fold everything down. I got that ruler out of the Dollar Tree. So there, you're going to fold down your edges on all the sides. I'm going to fold it down nice and neat. And again, like I said, take your time with this. I wasn't in a rush because I was making them like 3 and 4 at a time. And this is a more tedious craft than the cups that I made the imitation bells out of when I got those cups out of the Dollar Tree, the plastic cups. So this is a more tedious craft, but everything will store away really good. If you store everything away properly and no pressure on the cups, you'll probably be able to, well, I'm sure you'll be able to use those cups next year. But these bells, these are more sturdier, a more sturdier craft than the cups. So there, you're gonna fold your piece all the way around like that, and then from this point on, it's just hot glue everywhere. Hot glue is your friend in this craft. And any undesirable pieces that you have, you know, you could get rid of. And this is the part, yeah, remember I said to save this piece? You're going to cut all that old extra aluminum off, and you're going to just use the base of the bottom of the can, and I'm going to show you, because this is going to act as the top of your bell. So there, you see I cut off all the extra pieces of aluminum that I didn't need, because I just want that round piece that be at the bottom of the can. I'm having terrible post-nasal drip, you guys. I had a cold a couple days ago, and everybody in my house went down. We all were sick, and oh, it was just awful. And I had to do something to shake this, this nasal congestion and the cold. Because we got a Christmas party coming up, and my son, Lance, the one with special needs, he turns 18 on December the 11th, but we're gonna have his party on the 16th, and we're just gonna have it with some family and friends come over and celebrate 18 years around the sun with Mr. Lance. And yeah, so we got a lot of stuff to do. I still have yet to do a final home tour, because there's trees in almost every room of the house. And so yeah, I had to shake this cold, so I just started making me some echinacea tea and elderberry tea, with peppermint and things to that nature, and that is what kind of helped me get myself together. But so now I'm just experiencing a little post-nasal drip. Yeah, so that's why I have been absent, and that's why I didn't put out this video sooner. So I hope you guys would excuse me for that. But we're just gonna push through it, because it's that time of year, and I love this time of year. Okay, so you see right there, I glued down the aluminum parts of the can. And those clamps, I got those out of Dollar Tree. So anything that you could get to help you with your craft, get it, because I got those from out of Dollar Tree, and they really help, because once you put that hot glue on the aluminum will get hot where the glue is laying. So you need to apply pressure in that area, but with it being so hot and the glue might ooze out, it's not good for your fingers. So the good thing is you just get yourself some clamps out of Dollar Tree, and you'll be good. So now here, I'm just poking a hole in the top part, and that's gonna be where I'm gonna hang my string through. That's gonna be on the inside of the bell. So make sure, don't forget to do that before you put the top on to the bell. Make sure you poke the hole in it. And I was trying not to burn my fingers, because I put all that glue on the top part of the can. But there, it sits pretty nicely, and it looks crazy in the beginning, but you just keep pushing through, because in the end we're going for a rustic, vintage, worn, distressed look. So we want the bell to look like they were welded together. So there, that's what it's going to look like. So in this part, I'm just going to go around it to seal everything off with some hot glue, And at this point in the craft, hot glue is your friend because it's going to give you the look that you were wanting, that welded together look on metal. That's what the hot glue is going to give you, that look. So it's me just piling it on in the areas where that was, put together. And I'm going to go down the center where the bell connects with some of that glue, and I put it on pretty thick because I like that look, that welded look. And there, that's what it's going to look like. And at this point it's going to look like crap, but you just keep with it, and we'll get through. You'll get through, I promise you. They're going to come out really, really nice, especially once you start the fun part, the color and the painting, and the rub and buff. That's the fun part. But yeah, so this is what it looks like. This is how I made it. And yeah, so you just prop it somewhere to dry. And I did a boo-boo on this. I should have put the string inside the bell before I completely closed it. So if you attempt to do this, make sure you put the string on before you put the whole bell together, because otherwise it's going to be hard putting your little bells inside. So here I'm showing you how I'm making the inside of the bell. So I just got this that twine from Dollar Tree, and yeah, I fed it through some of the twine. And then you just want to make sure that your string is long enough to, go through the bell and like bang up against the sides, because what I'm going to do to give it make some noise, make like a bell noise on the inside, I'm going to glue some of these miniature little bells that I got from Dollar Tree. They sell them in the bags, like 50 and 100. They're these little teeny bells you get from Dollar Tree. I'm going to glue about 3 or 4 of those onto the twine. So there. I kept it simple. I tried to keep it simple. And make sure you do this before you glue everything together, even adding on to adding the bells onto your twine, because it'll get harder to do. So there, I'm just adding some hot glue onto the rope. And I got my little rubber fingers because I'm going to rub the glue together onto the rope, just so the rope won't slide back through the hole there at the top. So there, it's mashed together. See that? But just for reinforcements, I'm going to go in and tie a nice little knot right there at the top of the bell to give it a more vintage, aged look. And there you have it. So it should look something like that. See? Easy enough. So now this is where I'm going to, those little bells from Dollar Tree, there they go. They were $1.25, and I think it was 100 in there. And I just take about 2 or 3, depending on how much noise I want inside the can. Sometimes some of the bells got 4 of them glued onto the twine. Some of them got, 2. It all depends on you, how many you would like to do. So there, I made sure the rope was long enough. And this is just how I seen how to, do this. But if you guys have any other way or any suggestions on how to, what you would have done differently, let me know in the comments. Because that's what we're about here. We're about, helping each other through everything and making everything come out, how we like it. So there, I just glued a couple of the bells onto the rope. Now again, this is just what I figured out to, come up with to make some kind of movement inside the bell. So there. So I glued 4 of them, 2 on each side of the rope. And now I'm just going to get ready to glue it all together. See, it's easier that way, right? You could just slide your bells down into the can and then glue the top. Now remember in the first clip, I just glued the whole can together. And it was hard for me to go inside to put the string, so that's why I figured I'd show you guys this. So try to remember to do it this way, because it's easier, trust me, to put those little bells inside. And it just, creates a little noise of a bell once you shake the bells up. You'll hear the little bell sound. So it's just to give it some, a little character. Make it sound like a bell. So there. And don't worry about the strings of glue. Once everything dries and you go to paint, you're not even going to see them. Or you could, when you painting, you'll be able to pull those strings of paint off. Those strings of glue off. So yeah, once you get it all down like that, then you could go around with your hot glue and, seal everything up. I like to use big sheets of the hot glue on this part of the craft. Because again, I like that the look of like the bell was welded. And when you paint, once you paint it and you put the rubbing buff on, you'll see the effect that I'm talking about. It comes out beautifully. So there, so basically that's your bell. That's your bell. It don't have any color or anything on it yet. But, yeah, so you hold everything together. Cut a hot glue will, make everything kind of lift until everything, seals in and the glue starts to stick and harden. But once the glue cures, then you're good. You're good. Yep, so I just use some of those clips to hold it together until the hot glue cures. So right there, I'm just going in to just even out the bell, but that's a preference. You don't have to do that. You could just put hot glue at the bottom of your bells to make it look more worn and, distressed. But I like a nice even bell at the bottom. And these are like square, like cowbells almost, I'm thinking. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, you guys, but I've seen these square, these long, elongated bells in a lot of vintage stores, and they were pretty pricey. So I just figured, I could kind of recreate that look. with some cans and some hot glue. Now these are going to be more sturdier to store over, you know, like once Christmas is over, than the plastic cup trick that I showed you guys in the other video. So if you didn't see how I made bells out of plastic shot glasses and cups, I have a video on how I did that. But yeah, and it all depends on how you know, put away your Christmas decor. If you pack everything away nice and neatly, and you don't pack anything on them with pressure that is going to mash them down or anything like that, you'll definitely be able to have them for next year as well. Even these aluminum. Now, I thought it was a nice idea to put our family's last name, well, initial, onto one of the cans. And all I used was the hot glue. And I figured, well, I'll do some of the cans with our last name initial on them and hang them, you know, throughout the house, different places. So this is how I did that. I just took it with the hot glue gun, and this is a big hot glue gun. It released a lot of hot glue at one time, like big thick sheets of glue, because you could get the smaller hot glue gun that take the little hot glue sticks, and you won't get as much glue release. So it depends on your preference. So yeah, this is how I put our initial on the bell. I just simply used the hot glue, and my penmanship isn't the best, but you know, we want that old vintage worn look, so I'm doing my best. You know, it's okay. It came out okay in the end. I loved it. My husband absolutely loved it. He was like, "How did you get that on there?" And I had to tell him I used hot glue. So there's our cans. And that's our one with our initial on it. So you just place everything somewhere so everything can cure. As you can see, the hot glue is curing already. So it was so cold outside this day. I did have spray paint, and I could have went outside in the backyard and spray painted them, but it was so cold outside. And again, you know, I was just, you know, trying to get over this little head cold bug that I have. So I just decided to just use regular acrylic paint and a paintbrush and stay indoors and just, you know, paint them down like that. But of course, it's much easier if you could, you know, just take them outside and spray paint them. But I just didn't feel like going outside. It was too cold and on this day. So I just used black acrylic paint. So I always start out with black because the rub and buff, it bounces off. The color bounces off really good if you come in. You're using a black background, I come to find out. So yeah, so I just used the black and got everything together like that. Gave it a couple seconds to dry. Yeah, so I hope you guys are enjoying your your holiday season. And let me know if this would be something that you would have done. And if so, what would you do differently? I'm curious to know. So I think it's a really nice craft. I really do. I think it's a cute craft. And it can be a little, dangerous because you're using cans. And if you're not careful, you can slit your fingers open. But if you take your time, like you see me do, and I saw a lot of other young ladies on YouTube and Instagram attempting this. And everybody had their own way of using these aluminum cans to come up with these bells. Some people, shape the cans differently. Some people, used this method and the cans was like slim. The bells were slim and straight up and down. Some people took a hammer and like hammered the aluminum can and made it shaped like a cowbell. So there's plenty of ways you could do this craft to just decorate, this time of year if you like bells. I wanted to incorporate a lot of bells this year with my Christmas decor. But as you know, bells could be expensive, especially vintage looking ones. And the way how we making these bells look, if we were to buy anything remotely close to looking like these bells, you're going to pay at best, probably $15, $14.99, $15.99, something like that per bell, especially at the height of the Christmas shopping season like now. Everybody's putting up their decor and putting their last final finishing touches on their decor and things to that nature. But if I was doing this craft, I would definitely start, early, depending on how many you want. Now, I made a lot of these bells. I'm just, did this video to show you guys, how I made my bells. But I started making mine back in October. So I, wouldn't be, under any stress or pressure, anything like that. So these few bells that I'm making for you guys right here is basically just for the tutorial. But pretty much all the bells that I made to go with my Christmas decor it was made like, a month ago. Yeah, so this would definitely be quicker if you spray painted it. But again, like I said, I'm getting over a cold, and I didn't want to go outside because it was like, oh my goodness, I think it was like 27 or 30. It was like 32 degrees because the water outside in my water basket. I have a basket on the side of my house that I put there to catch rainwater for my flowers. And this bucket froze solid. The water in it froze solid. So it had to be 32 degrees or under 32. It was really cold. So I decided not to go outside this day. Okay, so this is where the fun comes in. Everything's all dry, and here's a good look at my can. So now I'm going to go in with my rub and buff. And this stuff is so amazing, you guys. I can't I can't get enough of it. Now it does have a little smell, but I kind of got used to the smell. Well, I have gotten used to it because I absolutely love using this stuff. Okay. I'll be using this on a lot of other crafts throughout the year. So yeah, I would love it if you guys liked and subscribed, and stay tuned. We got a lot of things coming up after the new year, a lot of good content, a lot of how-tos, and I'm still decorating my home. Me and my husband purchased this home 2 years ago, and we're still, furnishing everything out. And I'm going to be working on our bedrooms after the Christmas holiday. But I don't like bedroom sets anymore. So I'm thinking I want to get, pieces like different dresser pieces and mirrors, and just put bedroom sets and, put bedroom furniture together to incorporate a unique look for each room. And I plan on doing that out of consignment shops and thrift stores, buying, furniture from these stores, like old dressers, because you can find a lot of heavy wooden dressers in Salvation Armies and things to that nature. I already have a dresser that I found that I'm going to completely do over, sand it down, paint it, put new pullers on it. So if you're into stuff like that, stay tuned to see these makeovers of these bedroom dressers that I'm going to be doing after the new year. But meanwhile, check out this rub and buff on these bells. You guys, I did one a few minutes ago in gold. So here I'm going in with the antique silver rub and buff, or the silver leaf. And look at that. And see how the hot glue, how it makes the bell look 3D in certain areas. So in some areas I dabbed, some areas I rubbed. I like the rubbed look, the rub and buff. And look at how the initial came out on the bell. Ain't that cute? Nobody's gonna know. Who's gonna know? Nobody will know that it started out as a beer can. But yeah, so here are all the cans all done. And I love this craft. I think it's really, really nice. And I think as time goes on, I'll, experiment with other things, with other methods, and try to come up with different, styles. But for now, I'm happy with the way they look. And when you shake it up, you can hear the little bells rattling on the inside together. And see how they have that welded together look, like, they're metal. They look metal until you touch them. Then they're not heavy at all. And here I just blended them in with, all of, my other decor. See, look at that. Cute, cute. Very, very cute. And you could blend them in with your regular decor that you have going on. Because that's what I did. I bought 3 vintage bells from that very expensive for no reason, a Christmas store that I was at, and I was able to blend my bells into the decor style with those bells that I bought from that over expensive Christmas store. And here's the thing, you couldn't even tell. So always know that you could, blend in your cheaper items with a piece that you may have that's high end. you know don't be afraid to do that. And everything should come out great. But you guys, I'm loving this look this year, and these bells are just showstoppers. My sister-in-law came in and she was like, oh, where did you get the bells? And I had to tell her, I told her I made them. She didn't believe me. She did not believe me. She was like, I do not believe that. I had to tell her, look at my video. I have videos showing you how I did it. And she was amazed after she watched the video. She was like, I didn't know you do stuff like that. Oh my goodness. They look real. They feel so real. But yeah. So with a little time and a little hot glue, it's like voila. So if you hung in there with me this long, I thank you all for tuning in, and I hope you all stay tuned, because in this video I was just putting the finishing touches on all of my Christmas decor in my house. So I have a full home tour video coming up, and I also have some cooking coming up. I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to make my gumbo greens for the Christmas party, and I'm going to be making my son's Christmas dinner, and we're going to have gumbo greens, and we're going to have fried cornbread and all that good stuff. And I'm even going to make his 18th birthday cake, all for the Christmas party. Now here's one of those bells. I'm sorry I'm out of focus, but here's one of those expensive bells I bought from that expensive Christmas store. But yeah, it's really made really well. The bell is really, really pretty, and they took their time and drew the little snowman onto the bell. But that gave me an idea. We probably could do that on some of our bells. What do you think, you guys? I'll figure something out, and maybe in another video I'll show you guys how to do something like that, because I just came up with an idea as to how we could get pictures onto the bells, and I'll show you guys in another video. But until next time, you guys, stay tuned, hit that like and subscribe button, and take care of yourselves and each other, and enjoy your Christmas holiday.